James here with New Adventure Films. I've been a professional photographer and filmmaker for the past 15 years, and for the last 4, I've been motovlogging. During that time, I've spent countless hours testing action cameras, dialing in settings, experimenting with mounts, flying drones, and putting gear through its paces in remote locations. In this video, I'm going to share what I've learned over the last 4 years. Whether you're just starting with motovlogging or looking to take your videos to the next level, you're in the right place. And just to be clear, I'm not sponsored by any of the gear featured here. Let's get started. The first and most important camera in motovlogging is a helmet camera. Helmet cameras give your audience a first-person view of the world as you see it. You want the camera's video resolution and color quality to be excellent in bright and low light, as well as clean audio. After hours of side-by-side comparisons testing various GoPros, the DJI Osmo, and the Insta360s, I chose to use the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 camera for my helmet camera. Of the 3 major brands of action cameras, in my opinion, it has the highest video quality, the best color, and best audio quality when wired to a lavalier mic in my helmet. I will use the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 until the minute something better comes out, which should be soon as new cameras come out every year. For my camera settings, I set the resolution to 4K, frame rate to 60 frames per second, stabilization to standard, active HDR to on, sharpness to medium, color to standard, white balance to auto, metering mode to matrix, and field of view to action, and we can go over that a little bit later. How you mount your helmet cam is just as important as the camera you use. You want to mount it in the center of the chin protection of your helmet, with the lens centered right in the middle. I have used 3 different types of helmet mounts. The first is from a company called Chin Mounts. These mounts are made to fit specific helmets. One chin mount will set you back about $45 after tax and shipping, and they don't last long. I'm on my 4th one in 3 years, as when dust gets in the glue, they tend to fall off. The next mount I use is a strap-on mount from Telesin. This mount works, however, because it's not glued onto your helmet, it's easy to accidentally shift the camera position. I use this mostly as a backup in case I'm in a remote location and my glued-on mount comes off. The third camera mount I tried is from Moto for $38. This mount fits most helmets and makes more contact with the helmet. However, it was difficult to attach to my Aero 2 Commander helmet due to a narrow jawline. I've only had it for a few months, so I don't know how long it will last. After my first season of New Adventure Films, I noticed a couple of things that bugged me about my helmet camera footage. The first being it was not centered. Even though I centered my camera on my helmet mount, the lens of the camera itself is off to the right of the camera. To fix this, I found a company called Moto that made an offset attachment to the chin mount attachment that centers the lens to the helmet. The next thing I had to fix was my camera height on my helmet. I'm 6'2", so with my helmet cam coming straight out from my chin, you could barely see my handlebars in my videos. Without seeing my handlebars, the videos sometimes look like a drone shot. To fix this, I bought a variety of GoPro attachments and lowered my Insta360 camera until I could again see my handlebars in the video. Here's the view now centered and lowered to show part of the handlebars. For the Insta360 and 4K60, there are 5 different field of views: action, mega, ultra-wide, D-warp, and linear. After action, each field of view gets more cropped in, thereby decreasing the image quality. Here's a sample of the 5 different field of views on the same track. I chose the action field of view as it was the widest view with the highest quality and did not warp the edges or horizon as much as the mega and ultra wide views. Let me know in the comments below what field of view you like best. If you're planning on talking on camera and staying in the shot, a side-facing 360 camera works best. Testing both the back camera and the new position of the helmet cam. I went with the Insta360 X5 because out of all the 360 cameras I tested, it delivered the best video quality, solid audio, and footage that was easy to edit. I chose a 360 camera instead of getting another Ace Pro 2 so I can angle it downward out of my helmet camera's view and still capture everything. With that said, it doesn't quite match the color and video quality of my helmet camera. My Insta360 settings are as follows. I set the resolution to 8K, which equates to 4K per lens, frame rate at 30 frames per second, adaptive tone on, and HDR not supported. I'm hoping that when the Insta360 X6 comes out this year, it will shoot an 8K 60 and that HDR will be supported. Some motovloggers use a back-facing camera. I've done this by attaching an Insta360 heavy-duty clamp to a K&F Concept invisible selfie stick, then to my Insta360 X5 camera. I don't use this setup anymore as the selfie stick ends up being in my helmet cam footage, and I think the side-facing camera is just as good, if not better. One of the best motovlogging cameras you can add to your motorcycle is a drone. Drones can track you from many different angles and give your audience a grand view of your location. Just a note before we get started. I do not advocate flying a drone while riding a motorcycle, but if you're in an area without people or cars, here's how to do it. First, you need a place to store your drone and controller that you can get to easily. I use a Moto Nomax tank bag to store my drone, controller, and extra batteries. This bag will run you about $330 and is worth every penny. Okay, what we're going to do now is show you how I store my drone. So this is where I store my drone controller in my Moto tank bag. I put it in the bag so that the zippers of the bag don't scratch the lens or the cover of it. And then I mount it to this. This is a quick release mount from Lifthor and it's secure. But for right now, we're just going to leave it there. And then on the bottom portion of this bag is where I store my drone. As you can see down here, I can store 4 batteries plus a battery in here and the drone. All right, so we are going to launch this. So this is a great shot for a drone following you from height. And as long as you have it in sports mode, you better make sure you're not around any trees. You need a quick release handlebar mount so that you can easily fly your drone while riding and remove it easily when you want to land your drone. I use a Lifthor mount with a quick release bracket attached to my handlebar mount, making it easy to remove from my handlebars to land it. Just a note, be sure to keep an eye on your drone's battery life as it considers where you launch your drone as its home point. And if you ride too far away from that point, when the battery gets too low, it will fly back to that point automatically, and that could be miles away. The final step in creating pro moto videos is audio. Bad audio can ruin your videos, so you have to make sure to get it right. Okay, I've got both cameras rolling. I've got the Insta360 X5 and the Ace Pro 2 on my helmet cam. They're both recording audio from the inside of my helmet. The 360 X5 is recording it from the Insta360 mini mic, and then the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is connected to a lavalier mic, which is also inside my helmet. This makes it easier to sync up the sound. So let's see what it sounds like with the engine running. All right, so let's review the map here. So I'm going to go to a place that I normally go to. It's a little bit windy today, a little bit cloudy, and let's see what this sounds like along the way. This so this is with the face shield down. It's kind of echoey in my helmet to me, so we'll have to see what it sounds like on the two mics. Let's go this way. So as you can see, the weather's kind of changed for the worse. Had to put the drone away. It might rain on me here, it might not, I don't know, but it's about 55 degrees. So a lot colder than it was supposed to be. Alright, so that's with the face shield down. In a minute here I'm going to lift it up and see if the audio gets worse, better, what happens. So let's lift up the face shield. Alright, this is with the face shield open. And the sunglass visor up as well. I'm going to take a little shortcut right here. But as you can see, those clouds in the distance look pretty mean. We might get a pouring on here. And I'm going to speed up a little bit. So this is about the sound the motorcycle would be making if I was riding it normally. Not on a trail road or anything like that. I tried many different setups, including Bluetooth through a PackTalk Black and a DJI mic, but the audio sucked. For my helmet camera, I use a lavalier mic attached to the inside of my helmet, and the other end plugged into a 360 Ace Pro 2 external audio mic receiver. I set the mic gain to plus 3 dBs on my Insta360 Ace Pro 2 camera. Having the external mic attached to the inside of my helmet helps reduce the noise outside the helmet without eliminating it. For my back-facing camera, I use a Bluetooth-enabled Insta360 mic mini transmitter also attached to the inside of my helmet. The advantage of this setup is, 1, the lavalier mic in my helmet cam creates the best audio. 2, I can start both cameras via voice control at the same time. And 3, it's much easier to sync up my better helmet cam audio with my Insta360 camera video. And in case you're wondering why I don't use one Bluetooth transmitter for both cameras, you can't do that. That doesn't allow you to do that. Now that you know the different camera setups, this is what it looks like when you put everything together in one cohesive video and add music, as I did here in this Ride to the Top of the Hill video. Be sure to watch until the end for an amazing view. Alright, here we go. Ride back. The road's got a lot of big ditches in it. Makes it a lot more fun. Nice day for April, 75 degrees, 76 degrees. This place is so wide open and I never see anybody out here. And there are just miles upon hundreds of miles of roads out here. Going in every different direction you can imagine. It's just amazing. So I've also made an improvement for the audio. I'm now synced up with two audio devices that plug into the helmet, and then the 360 mini mic in my helmet for the 360 camera, which is great because now I don't have to mess around with syncing up the two cameras. I can go back and forth. So all these improvements, better bike, better fuel pump, better ECU, better tires, better GPS, all this stuff is making a huge difference. It's going to in the videos coming up. Go great. they never build houses back up in here. Honestly, I don't think Utah has the water for it in the first place, but you never know. That's some gnarly rocks sticking out of the ground in here. Sticking like 6-7 inches above the ground. And you don't see them till you're right up on them. Alright, now we can speed it up a little bit now that we're out of the sand dune. Well, in a minute. Still in the sand dune. Now I gotta get to the right. Jump. Thing brought myself to shifting with boots on. Okay, here we go. Better foot pegs, so they go down and back farther, and adjusted my shift lever up. There we go. And we made it. I camped up here a couple of times just to do star lapses because it's in the middle of nowhere and it's just awesome. It was kind of windy the same night I came up here, but look at this view. If I ever get rich someday, I'd put my house right up here if they'd let me.